this episode of 100 Goats, the 100 greatest people and events of all time you should know to be a culturally literate person, we'll go all the way back to the very first item on our list, the agricultural revolution. Now, to understand any important event, we need to know when and where it happened. Now, whether you believe in him or not, the birth of Jesus Christ is considered zero, or the beginning of what's known as the Common Era. And anything before Christ is called BCE for before the Common Era, and anything since the birth of Christ is referred to as CE for the Common Era. For the agricultural revolution, we're going back about 12,000 years to Mesopotamia at the Tigris and Euphrates rivers in what is present-day Iraq. So why is this first agricultural revolution so hugely important? Well, because it enabled humans to finally stay in one place and be able to develop what would eventually become our early cities. Before that, we were hunters and gatherers, and once we'd done all the hunting and gathering we could do in one place, we had to move on. And of course, while doing that hunting, we were sometimes equal parts predator and prey, and as you might imagine, the hunt did not always go well. But once we figured out a bit of astronomy, enough to have a reliable sense of when the seasons were changing and so when to plant and when to harvest, we settled down, literally. And once we could plant and harvest, we quickly became sedentary, stationary, almost inert. And look at us today. Some would say this was the beginning of the end. But of course, the agricultural revolution was an essential and wildly successful turn that eventually enabled us to develop such masterworks of human ingenuity and achievement as democracy, philosophy, architecture, the Age of Enlightenment, and the Industrial Revolution. All because, once we stayed put, we had leisure time. And that led humans to all sorts of other activities. And once we had leisure time, it seemed like there wasn't anything we couldn't do. So that's episode 1, the agricultural revolution, as we go down the list of 100 goats, the 100 greatest people and events of all time you should know if you want to be a smarter, sexier, more culturally literate person. See you on the next episode of 100 Goats.